second topic I want to talk about is banking. I have to share my experience on this because I was blown away. I was surprised. Nobody told me about the challenges that you're going to face as an African having to do something as simple as open a bank account. So, this is what happened. I actually called before I had my Emirates ID to do inquiries to one of the banks. And then they told me what I needed. You need your Emirates ID, and then you need certificate of salary, which is something from your employer stating that, okay, you work with them and this is how much your salary is. And then my passport, of course. One of my colleagues told me that, oh, this bank has zero balance policy and you can even apply online. So you don't even need to go to the bank. So she gave me all the details. I went online, I entered everything. And then the moment I entered my nationality and all that, the system blocked. This is strange. And then I tried again and then it blocked. I waited a couple of days, like the next day or 2 days, I tried again, portal blocked again. So I decided to go to the bank myself because it wasn't working online. So I went to the bank, I showed them all my documents, and the teller at the bank or the operator himself, he advised me actually to open the account online because online it has a zero balance. So the zero balance means that you don't have to you can start, you can open the account with a zero balance and then you don't have to keep a minimum amount in the account also. However, if I decide to open at the bank, I there should be a minimum opening balance and then a minimum balance in your account. If you go below that minimum before the end of the month, they're going to charge you a penalty. I just sat outside the bank. I tried again, and then same thing. So I'm like, what is this? And then later they sent me a message that somebody is going to contact me. I'm not going to mention the name of the bank. And this was already like a week, past a week, right? When I went to the bank. So I waited for about another 3, 4 days. Then finally somebody called. And then she was like, oh, we saw that you're trying to open an account, a zero balance account, and this. I'm like, yeah, this is exactly what she said. Unfortunately, we cannot give you access to the zero balance account. And I said, why not? Initially, she said, I cannot really tell you. And I said, you have to tell me. What do you mean by you cannot open the account for me? I have all the requirements. Everything you've asked of me, I do have it. So why can't you open the account for me? Because I went to the bank and they advised me that they're trying to limit people coming into the bank. So they are shifting things online. So it's best for me to do that online. So why can't you open the account for me? Basically, what she was trying to say is that because I'm African, they are not going to do that for me. But she couldn't be bold enough. That is one of the problems I have here is that if you're going to discriminate towards somebody, just own it, own it, be bold enough, give the person the full information, and let them know what's up. Don't try to sugarcoat it. Don't try to beat around the bush like, oh, there's something in your document that there's nothing in my document. My document is okay, is my nationality. I'm Ghanaian, I'm African, and it's not allowed, period. So I got really mad and then I had to go back to the bank and I was like, what is this? I got so angry. I said, any whatever you want, I have it. Whatever you require for me to open an account. And there are people whose salary is even like 3 times lower my salary and they get the opportunity to open a zero balance account. And I'm saying I'm even willing to leave that deposit. I don't need it. Like I also need some savings in my accounts. So I'm okay to have a minimum balance or whatever requirements that you need. It's okay. So what is the problem? So the man had to go talk to his manager and this. I'm like, I'm a legit person. I have a job, I have an Emirates ID, whatever requirements you need. What is it? What do you want? Thumbprint, like you want to come to my house and assess the place, you want to check my clothing, my perfume, you want to know all that, the kind of perfume I use or my jewelry or whatever, come and do it. And I actually told him, I said, this is really not fair. All of us Africans are not the same. Not all of us are the same. Of course, there are bad ones. There are always bad nuts in any race. But you cannot just use that because I asked him, how many Africans do you know? Like, how many Africans do you know personally? I don't even think you know like 100 of us. Do you know how many people are in Africa? So you cannot just use that few. It may seem a lot, even if they are like 500 or 1,000, it's a lot of number, but not compared to the whole of Africa. So you cannot use that very few people and judge all of us. There are good ones. You have to know that there are good ones. So what do? You have to sieve them off, good ones from the bad ones. That is why you put measures in place. So you just put those you just put those measures in place, and whoever is able to fit that, you give them access. It's as simple as that. Just put the measures in place. That's all. And he actually apologized and then everything. Then he was like, they are going to check. It was one of the worst moments I've had here, apart from finding an accommodation, which I'm going to talk about soon. But having to open a bank account was one of the most challenging things I've experienced being an African in UAE. So, with that said, I think I came back home 2 days later. I got a text message, and this even makes me emotional. I got a text message that my bank account has been opened, and you guys should see the way I was jubilating. And after the jubilation, I was like, for a bank account, and in my country, like they are pressuring me open a bank account. I don't even want to open a bank account. And like something as simple as opening a, and it's my money. I was super excited for the fact that they finally like accepted to open the account for me. So that is one of the major challenges. And also, if you don't have, if you're, if you don't reach the threshold of salary that qualifies you for a bank account, then you can obviously not have a bank account in major banks. There are some other banks that open bank accounts easily for Africans and other nationalities, but I don't know. I don't trust them. I usually want to go with like the national banks in any country that I am. I want to go with the national banks of those countries. This is one of the major challenges you're going to face as an African in UAE, having to open a bank account.